So I sold my beloved Jeep Wrangler, and here's why. A little background, I bought my 2013 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited in 2014. The previous owner had bought it brand new, leased it for a year, and put 17,000 miles on it in that first year. I would hate to know what they paid for overage on mileage, but anyway, it was extremely clean, and more importantly, it was priced exactly right. So I had a strict budget that I set for myself. Just a little background, I've had a lot of Jeeps. I've had a lot of Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers over the years. But when I heard that they were coming out with a four-door Wrangler, I said, look, if they ever actually come out with one, I'm buying one. No questions asked. Well, they came out with one in 2007. And it was less than desirable. You know, they did away with the 4.0, which every Jeep enthusiast loves, and they put the 3.8 in there from the Chrysler minivan. So I was less than enthused. I mean, it was what I wanted, a four-door Wrangler, but it was not what I wanted. And the reason I always said I wanted a four-door Wrangler is because my TJs were always too small. You know, the back seat was pretty much useless. In my last TJ, I literally took the back seat out just because it was so useless. I figured I'd rather have cargo capacity than a seat that nobody wanted to sit in. So they came out with a four-door TJ, or four-door JK, sorry. I waited a little while because, you know, of course I'm going to buy a used one. I don't want to spend 40 grand or whatever on a Jeep. So I waited a couple years, and then right about the time I was about to buy one, they said, guess what? They're going to come out with a newer one with a better interior and a better engine. Okay, I'll wait on that one. 2011, they came out with a better interior. 2012, they came out with a better engine. But 2012 was plagued with some issues on the cylinder heads. So I waited, and I waited. 2013, they fixed everything. New interior, new engine. You know, they worked out all the kinks. So I said, that's the one I'm going to buy. Once again, I'm not going to spend 40 grand on a Jeep, so I waited. Sure enough, a year later, one popped up, and I said, I'm not paying a dime more than $25,000. So one popped up. It was $25,500 and some dollars. Okay, so I broke my rule. I paid $25,500 for it, or something along those lines. You know, and I did everything I wanted to do to it. I put a rock crawler 2.5-inch stock mod suspension on it. I put 35-inch BF Goodrich KO2s on it. I put Rubicon wheels. I put a 2013 10th anniversary Rubicon hood on it. Put LED headlights from Truck Light, LED tail lights from JW Speaker. I mean, it was awesome. But I sold it. And the reason I sold it is because I think this was the perfect time to sell it. Because in the next month or two, they're going to release they're not going to release, they're going to show the JL Wrangler, which is the newest Wrangler. I figured about the time the 2018s came out, I wasn't real sure if the 2018 was going to be a JK or a JL. It ended up being a JK. So I figured this is the perfect time I need to strike now, because people are still buying JKs. They're not waiting for the JL to come out. So as soon as the JL is shown at an auto show, the JKs are going to drop in value like the TJs did. So I tried to sell it with the lift and everything on it. I figured, you know, I'm going to get another one, but I figured, you know, it may end up being a JL, so I need to sell it with everything on there. And no one bit. Maybe I had it priced too high, I don't know. So I lowered it a little bit. Somebody came and looked at it, whatever, it didn't work out for him. I waited a little longer, and finally I just said, look, I'm running out of time. This end of summer's coming. And here in North Carolina, you can sell a Wrangler pretty much all year round because the winters are mild enough that people don't mind driving around a soft top Wrangler. So I waited a little bit, still wasn't selling, and I said, look, if I'm going to lower the price anymore, I'm going to take the extra stuff off of it. So I took the suspension off and put stock stuff back on it. I took the wheels and tires off, and I bought some stock takeoffs. I took all the LED headlights, taillights, interior lights, all that stuff off. I took my front bumper off, which was a 10th anniversary Rubicon bumper. I took my back bumper off, which was an AEV tube. I think it's an AEV tubeless bumper. I had the tire carrier. I took that off. Took my backup camera off. Took the navigation out. Put it all back to stock. And so from 2014 to 2017, 3 years of owning it, I put 67,000 miles on it. And like I said, I bought it for $25,500 in 2013. But I just sold it, and I didn't. What happened was a sales manager from a dealership, a local dealership, called me and said, I want to buy your Jeep, and I think I can give you what you want for it. Because I had it marked at $24,500 at this point when I put it all back to stock. And long story short, for some reason he thought I had a hardtop. I don't know why. I didn't put that in the ad. But he ended up giving me $22,500 for it. I could have held out longer. I probably could have got $24,000 for it, but I got $22,500. So I drove it for 3 years. I put 50,000 miles on it, and I only lost $2,500. That's pretty good. So I think this was the perfect time to sell my Jeep JK, and I think I proved myself right, And I kept all the other stuff. I'm debating on whether I want to list all the wheels, the tires, the lift. I want to put all that stuff on Craigslist or eBay or something and sell it because I can recoup a lot of that money. Or if I want to hold on to it, because I may buy another JK, because I'm thinking as soon as the JL's shown, JK prices are going to drop. So my thought is wait maybe a year when the JL's coming out and start scooping up a JK when the prices drop to like $17,000, $18,000. Then put all my stuff back on it. Or I've thought about going the Copart route and buying one that's been wrecked or salvaged. I think that might be a good way to do it. Just got to see what kind of value they hold, because if I'm going to pay $12,000 or $13,000 for a wrecked JK, and then I'm going to have to put another $5,000 or $6,000 into fixing it, I've got $18,000 in a salvage title vehicle. So I'll have to do that research. I've looked on Copart and IAAI a few times. Haven't made a purchase yet, so we'll see how that goes. I could always sell my aftermarket stuff, recoup a lot of that money, and then possibly put a down payment on a JL. I'm not sure yet. I've seen spy photos of the JL. I saw one this week where it had a lot of the camo off, and I'm kind of liking it, but it's yet to be seen. I'm not going to make a decision on whether I'm on board or not until I see it. The 3.6 direct inject that's supposed to be in there is really interesting. I think we could probably see 350 horsepower out of that, maybe. Currently the current 3.6 mil puts out somewhere between 290 and 300, depends on which vehicle it's in. So that could be interesting. And then also maybe the diesel is very interesting. So we'll see which one of those piques my interest. If it piques my interest, I may just go back with a JK, because I'll be honest with you, the JK was a phenomenal vehicle. It did everything I wanted to do. So anyway, that's my story of why I think I picked the perfect time to sell my JK.